Guys, welcome back to the Unrestrained podcast here at the Latino Institute of Conservative Studies. I'm Isaac Galvez. Say hi to the people, Alfred.
What's up, everyone? What's up? Rock and rolling. Let's do this. A lot to talk about, man.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start off a little bit with obviously we're going to talk about the second assassination attempt, but we had the debate last week, Alfred, so I think we should just kind of briefly talk about that a little bit.
Kind of old news, no?
Yeah, it's old news now, but for us, we only do this once a week.
That's right.
So I don't know. In your opinion, how did you think Trump did on the debate?
I honestly think that for Trump to do something, you know what? Don't get me wrong. I like Trump's style.
I think there's something wrong with your.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, I can hear myself.
Okay, go for it.
For some reason.
Hold on. Let's see.
There you go.
Bro. All right, I can hear myself, but it was muted. I apologize, everyone. So I did like the debate of Trump, but my problem with Trump is that he can go 2 to 3 hours on a rally, but I don't think it's the same. You know what I mean? When you're going into a debate, I feel that he should have a structure. Like we talk about this, right? We talk about having a structure, having a good strategy on how to talk about certain topics that are going to be good. I feel for some reason, again, this is just my take on it, I think that he was a little bit unprepared. I feel that not only in the beginning he was doing fantastic, but when you have 3-on-1, you kind of when you have 3 people against one, they removed the sharpness of them. You know what I mean? They started attacking them with the rallies, the amount of the rallies, and they kind of had a plan. And for the most part, we're starting to see now that we're already almost a week into after the debate. There's a lot of conversations out there in social media that that possibly the questions were hint or given to Kamala Harris. In fact, you have some of the strategies, exit strategies, saying what would work if anybody that does any kind of debate with Kamala Harris, they should just prepare. They should just give her the questions in advance. You know what I mean? So that is not a good way to do a debate. I think that we should jump back to the traditional way of doing debates. But right now, bro, up is down and down is up. So it's kind of funky right now. My opinion.
Yeah. I was listening to something that reminded me that we need to go back to, they used to do 3 debates and each debate had its own subject.
Yep.
So it was like foreign affairs was one debate. Mm-hmm. And then you had a second debate and it would be on, say, the economy.
Economy.
And then let's say a third debate on, whatever else. So it was
crime or inflation
well, that'd be under the economy, but yeah, you would have 3 debates, and they would dedicate each debate to a particular subject.
Right.
And I think that would be much better because it would allow for the candidates to get more into detail in their plan, right? Rather than, cramming everything into one debate. But I think, in my opinion, I get frustrated with Trump. None of that is an excuse to me that the 3-on-1 that was expected. Anybody could have predicted that. Mm-hmm. Just like we all predicted they would try to kill him again, and here we are. It happened.
Not too long. Probably like about a month ago, we were discussing about the personal security. Right? We've shown some videos, and we've shown some videos about a guy who used to work as a sniper. You know what I mean? And he's saying, look, if you invest $2 million. You invest $2 million, you should have, your reinforce pretty much your own secret service. You know what I mean? Why they're not doing it, I just don't understand it, bro. Don't understand it.
Yeah, but to finish the point on the debate, it's frustrating. He did okay. Okay, Kamala did a great job. She did fantastic. I'll tell you that right now. Mm-hmm. Does that mean that I think she actually gave a plan? No, but she did what Democrats do, and she did it a good job. Okay, that's she's saying a lot of things that sound good without giving you anything specific, and that 100%. Plays well with their voter base. But Trump, it's easy. It's frustrating because, again, yeah, you saw, like you alluded to, when she brought up, people leaving his rallies over, early. When she said, hey, you should, go to one of his rallies and you'll see that people leave early. All he should have responded was, yeah, go to one of my rallies and see for yourself. That's it. He could have just left it at that, right? And I think that all he had to do is respond. Basically, his closing statement could have been his response every single time. Every time she said something, he just had to reply and say, why are they not doing it now? Right? Why have they not done that in the last three years? Whatever proposing or whatever claims she has that she's going to do, doing this opportunity economy. I mean, look, all he had to say was, the people know what they're going to get. I've already been there. I've already been president for 4 years. You know what you're getting with me.
Right.
You're getting a thriving economy and no wars. That's it. That's all you have to really repeat every single time. You're going to get a thriving economy, low gas prices, jobs, and no wars. I did it for 4 years and I'm going to do it again. Now, can you tell us specifics on your opportunity economy? What the hell is that? Just kind of get... I think all he had to do was just quickly remind people that he's been there, done that, and then move on, and then give her the rest of your time to force her to have to talk more.
Right.
And she would have just fell apart, but it didn't happen. Whatever. If there is another debate,
I don't think he should. I don't think he should give her another opportunity. I mean, to look at everything now. I mean, at the end of the day, and it's true what he said. He said, "Look, I won the debate." I mean, in his mind, he's thinking he won the debate. I think Kamala did great for the 3-on-1, and I granted taking what you're saying that hey, it doesn't matter. He took on 3. He took on 3.
Already know.
He should have. He already knew. He should have been prepared and ready. And by all means. I don't think he should do it personally, in my opinion. I don't think there's no need for him to do it. I mean, what I'm seeing, everything's made up. I mean, everything that Kamala has is just taking over from Joe Biden. I mean, for the most part, we're going to have the same thing that we had over the last 3 years, period.
Yeah.
And more people coming through the border, more crime, more inflation.
Right.
So, I mean, this is times 2, times 3, because now we already know where her stance is. Now, it's up to him if he wants to play, if he wants to go into another so-called, neutral space. I mean, it doesn't matter. I honestly don't think he needs it, in my opinion. I just feel he just stick around and just continue to take advantage of, people shooting at him, and, he'll be good. I mean, he's taking full advantage of this stuff. He's in the news. You know what I mean? He's in the news, even though the media does not want to talk about it. It's forcing the media to talk about him. And that's a good thing about it. Free promotion, and he's getting his name out there. So I'm for it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he hurt himself at all in the debate. If anything, it's hard for him to hurt himself. In my opinion, I don't think he's going to lose anybody that doesn't want to vote for him already.
Right.
I don't think I don't think the debate really mattered, but if somebody did lose out on anything, it's her. Because I think she probably had more people. There was more people watching the debate to hear from her more than from him.
Right.
Right. I think there were more people that wanted to watch that debate to find out what specifically is she proposing? What is she about? And obviously they got none of that. So, even though you have some people that all they hear is nice and pretty things and don't understand that she's not giving any specifics or not even giving them a plan. But then you also do have some independents that at least are coherent enough to know that she didn't say anything. But yeah, moving on. Let's get into, let's get into this interesting over the weekend. I don't really read any news or anything. I think like most of us on the weekend, and my wife says, hey, check out this headline. There was like a shooting, and it was like shooting near Mar-a-Lago or near where Trump was golfing, and immediately I'm like, they tried killing them again. And my wife's like, the headline says that it was near. And I'm like, man, she don't learn. You know? It's like, man. I feel bad for what? Because it frustrates me because I'm like, do you not learn that means they actually tried killing him? Yeah. Probably read the article and find out that, and I hadn't even gotten into it yet, but I didn't even have to read to know, that it wasn't just some shooting, near the golf course. What's the odds, right? What's the odds that there's just some random shooting? But
you also gotta give her credit. I mean, you gotta give credit where it's due. The media is doing a phenomenal job to persuade and to paint the narrative like there's nothing going on. This was 300
Well, yeah,
yards
I can't
away,
give her
right?
credit for not understanding the game.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I can't give her credit for falling for the nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And the thing is that she gets all frustrated with me, like, well, you don't know. I'm like, no, I do. Like, I don't. Anyhow, it's crazy. But yeah, obviously, we'll get in. A lot being said. A lot, again, like Alfred just mentioned, man, the media does not want to talk about. It's like, guys, I opened up my homepage at work, and it's like it's just another day.
Yeah,
it's just another day, business as usual.
Another assassination attempt of a president. It wasn't business as usual.
It wasn't even a headline. It wasn't even.
That's true.
Anything. It was like, it was just about polls, and I'm like, are you serious? This should be front every page, guys. Like, man, I won't beat that horse, but it is, I guess what the what's clear, Alfred, is I don't. Well, we'll get into this, but the bottom line for me is, this is all the media's doing. This is the media's fault. This one, I'm less think, for me, this one is less of a situation where you have the FBI and the CIA sending somebody. Like the last one, the first one,
right?
I mean, it's kind of like, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like when you say it's sorry to interrupt, but when the first one is kind of like shame on you. You know what I mean? Like, because they already had somebody that was unstable. It wasn't clear. As soon as they took on the investigation, it got scrubbed off. You know what I mean? But now this one is kind of like, all right. Now there's an explaining to you. Now you have, like, for example, you got the governor, right, of Florida. He's saying that he's gonna do his own investigation. Think about it. This is the FBI right away trying to come in and scrub things off, right? And I'm not saying that they don't, right? I'm just saying, like, right now it's been roughly almost about 2 months since the other one, and we hardly know about it.
Well, what I'm trying to say, Alfred, is the first one from the get-go, it smells of conspiracy.
Right.
Okay, so let me just hear me out. The first one, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, this is the deep state, right? This is a deep state deal. This is some Manchurian candidate situation here. He's a young guy. How did he know where to be? How did he know which roof? Why did they leave, right? Like, you start everything we talked about. Why did they not guard the roof, right? So the first one, it really looks like, okay, they planned this, and this was an assassination attempt planned by the deep state. Okay, that's kind of how that one to me seems more believable than some random guy that is just being manipulated by the media, right? This one seems more. I can buy in. I can buy into this one being less a case of the FBI or the CIA being involved, right? And this guy being more influenced and manipulated by the media, and is some older man that really believes what he's being told, and as a result of the fear mongering and the rhetoric, decided to go out on his own accord to go out and kill the president. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that's the difference between the first one and the second one. But we'll see. Today's day one, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to get into something here that's a little weird in some video where oddly enough, he was on this guy was also on a commercial for
BlackRock.
BlackRock, just like the first guy, right? But we'll see how things are trickling up. But right now, as it stands, this one, as from what I know right now, is directly caused by the media and the rhetoric of the left. That's what this looking like to me. But let's go ahead and play this video real quick. I don't know who this guy is, but who is this guy, Alfred?
He is. His name is. Oh, geez, man. His name is. I'll tell you right now. He is with.
Well, if you hover over the
Oh.
over the video, it'll probably tell you. But
Bear with me, because I wrote it down, man. Let me see a moments. Right here. It's actually, his name is man.
it's all right. Doesn't matter.
We'll bring it.
Yeah, it's a reporter. He's basically giving an overview on what happened with the shooting.
He'll say it right now.
Yep.
Here we go.
New details from the FBI show that the man accused of trying to kill former President Trump was outside the golf club, camped out for almost 12 hours.
Brian Enton.
Paperwork. Ryan Wesley Routh initially showed up outside the golf club at 1:59 a.m. and he was there until 1:31 p.m. on Sunday, almost 12 hours, with the AK-47 pointed through the fence, essentially just waiting for former President Trump to golf. How did he know that the former president was set to golf when it was not a public event? That is something that the FBI and that the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office and Secret Service continue to investigate. The suspect was in court. He has no bond. The two charges he faces are possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and also possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Remember, he is a convicted felon. He was convicted back in 2022 of a charge involving weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah. So.
Oh, we'll give him credit to News Nation.
News Nation. All right. Well, so we've been here. Go ahead and cue up the next one, Alfred. That way, because I don't remember what we got. So the thing with this, what you've been hearing is, and I don't necessarily agree, is like, well, let me back up. So you hear the guy talk about the guy was there for like 12 hours, right?
That's right.
And there's
11 a.m. I mean, 1 a.m. he started. He camped out.
So he camped out there. He was there all day, and for 12 hours. And there, I've heard some conspiracy that, well, how did he know he was there that day? How did he know he was going to golf? How do you know he was going to be there? Kind of alluding to like I said, like the first one where there is legitimate questions that for me, it seems like you can't explain these. A lot of the what we saw on the first one to me is unexplainable, other than, okay, somebody's in on it and the guy was getting help. Like in this case, everybody knows Trump golfs all the time. So for me, the fact that it wasn't a public event, I mean, did he know that Trump was going to be there that day? I mean, I don't know. So to me, it doesn't necessarily mean there was some sort of leak or that it's that far-fetched that somebody could just go there and post up on a weekend. Well, and odds are that Trump's going to be golfing. He golfs all the time.
The funny thing about this is that Hannity was invited by Trump to go play golf. You know what I mean? And he, as he's giving the news, or as he is putting on his whatever on X, he's giving an explanation. Hey, I text the president. I talked to him. He's doing fine, right? And he said that he pretty much he did not want to be. He said, oh, I'm not going to make it, right? I'm not going to be there or whatever. He tried to put an excuse.
Are you saying Hannity was in on this?
Well, no. I'm saying Hannity kind of gave a little briefing on what initially of what his schedule was to play golf. Kind of like, I don't think nobody.
I know what you're saying.
He's kind of saying,
but it's not private information.
Of course not. It's not. And for the most part, we're hearing this a lot. And see, that's one of the things that we got to be careful. Not just myself, right? Everybody, we got to be careful because, I hear this all the time. Like, how does somebody knew? Not even the secret surfers or the closest people to him, but all you can just ask people. They know who Trump is. They know what he does every weekend.
He's gonna golf The odds are, and then the other thing to me is, okay, if you knew he was gonna be there at a certain time, or I guess if you knew he was gonna be there and somebody leaked it, wouldn't they tell you around what time?
Sure.
Right? I would think, and I go, maybe I'm being naive, but then why would you need to be there from like 1 a.m? Like, why did you? It's not like the guy was posted up in a tree where nobody else would have seen him, like where he had to get there real early at 1 a.m. to climb up this tree so nobody would see him climbing up the tree, right? And then that way he's already spotted and just laying in wait, right? The guy's like on the side of a road, is what my understanding, outside
Correct.
the fence,
Right.
just laying there waiting, right? Since 1 a.m.
Right. And to give credit,
I mean, he could have just walked up any other time.
correct.
I don't know. So that go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say no. To give credit is exactly what you're mentioning. Like, how do people know? I mean, think about it. The Secret Service actually spotted him, bro. I mean, come on. Like, they said literally, that's what they said in the reporting, that they were doing a quick cross check, right, and spotted him, and supposedly there was some fire. That's what triggered him to get out, right, to get out of the brush. Or get out of the fence.
No,
Because
they shot at him.
They shot at him because they saw the
saw the muzzle. The guy saw the muzzle. So this one, the other thing, again, I think the right sometimes overplays their hand.
Yep.
And I'm not a security expert. Unlike the first time, where anybody can just look and say like, "Oh, why was there nobody on the roof?" Like, it's just common sense stuff, right?
Right.
In this case, the Secret Service did their job.
Right.
Like,
well,
they did their job. Like, right now you're hearing, how did they allow him to get this close? Okay, he was like 300 yards, right? But 300 yards, but he's outside of the
fence.
Outside of the fence.
Right.
So, and he was not successful.
Exactly.
I guess what I don't understand is, like, I don't understand how they failed here.
Right.
Like, how did they fail?
Well, initially, that's the conversation that how do we allow somebody to get so close within 300 yards, having that kind of weapon? You have two, you have two AK-47s, man. That's heavy duty. That's a heavy duty machine gun, right? But at the same time, you also got to give them credit because, listen, it was 300 yards away. And they actually did what they expected the service to do, which is combat, a threat, in which they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they identified the threat and they removed the threat before he even got there.
Correct. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm not an expert in this, guys, obviously, but to be fair, I think that we're focused on the wrong thing. For me, the focus is the fact that it happened again, right? And there's two things we can blame on, right? Either this is another deep state attack, right? Because I really believe the first one is very likely. Okay, anybody with the brain it's hard to believe that this was just some accident. Okay, this one is more believable that it's some lone wolf guy, right? But
manipulated.
That's been manipulated by the right. By the left media,
right?
By the rhetoric, has bought hook, line, and sinker into the narratives. And as a result, can you really blame the guy for doing what he attempted to do?
What he believes. He believes that there's actually a threat to democracy. You know
You're
what I mean?
being told that there's a threat to democracy.
Exactly. Like if I'm being told, and this kind of reporting, this is all I watch. CNN, right. MSNBC. This is who I watch, and I strongly believe. Remember, some of you believed it, right? Some of you were put into the jab, right? Remember, you guys believed it.
Right.
The rhetoric of it, right? So This guy is going through the same thing. He's going through the same situation where he's been told that there's a threat to democracy. Can you imagine this? You have somebody that comes by and grabs him, right? And says, look, you need to do something. You need to actually go and take on this whole responsibility. I don't know what agency could be telling these people this, right? But he could be told that. He believes it. This is what he sees. And again, you just got to look. And I'm looking at all this stuff from the media. And this is what I'm seeing. I'm saying anybody with unstable mind could take it upon themselves to actually believe what's going out there, what's been putting out there.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, let's play this clip here from which this one from?
This is News Nation again,
News Nation
and this
again.
is the same thing that we're talking about, the narrative. Remember, pay close attention to what this guy says. Remember, he's establishing a good dialogue, right? Why is it so hard for us to have a good dialogue, right? From somebody saying, or the left or the right, go do this or create harm in this situation. They're having a discussion about Trump coming out and say, this is what is happening to me. When you guys are spilling your ideologies or your rhetoric out there, to people, especially when you have people that are unstable, right? And these two are trying to pretty much have a conversation about it and saying, hey, trying to justify it. But look, let's pay attention. Here we go. And the buffering. The famous. Oh, man. All right. Okay, talk for a little bit.
It'll play right now.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just refresh this thing because sometimes it'll freeze up. All right, here we go.
Have to believe in this country that people are responsible for their own actions. Unwell people are maybe not.
Sorry about that. I want a little bit more. Here we go.
We have to believe in this country that people are responsible for their own actions. We cannot every time say that because so-and-so said X, then that caused person to undertake violent act Y. We have to believe in this country that people are responsible for their own actions. Unwell people are maybe not capable of being responsible for themselves, but we cannot blame our political opponents for violence simply for running a campaign.
Yeah, we know that the man,
pause.
Thomas Crooks.
So right now, because it's convenient, we can't blame people for what people say for what people do, right? But obviously, anytime Trump says anything, right, he's inciting violence, right? He's dog whistling. He's talking to the Klan, right? Trump's dangerous speak. How many times have you heard them accuse Trump of supposedly saying, using violent rhetoric and wanting to incite violence?
Yep.
The supposed very good people from both sides comment, right? So interesting that now because this happened, oh no, we can't blame what people do based on what people say, right? They say this, therefore, we need to blame them for the actions that people take. And one of the things that I was thinking about today is the fact that, you heard this man say, you have some unwell people, okay? We're going to have to play some videos of this guy, but to me, this man is not somebody who's unwell. I reject. What evidence do you have? Just let's play the game the left says, right? Anytime you want to, state something that seems kind of obvious to you, or for example, if we say, hey, the deep state is trying to kill Trump. What evidence do you have for that, right? That's what they would demand from us, right? They always demand us to have evidence for whatever position we have, okay? What evidence do they have that this man is unwell, right? What evidence do they have that he's, out of his mind, crazy, and somebody out there might say, well, you'd have to be crazy to do this. Do you? Do you have to be crazy to do something like this? I say no. Because again, to me, you'd have to be, if you're being told, that he's a threat to democracy, that he is the next Hitler, that in his case where he was very passionate about Ukraine,
yep.
Right? That, if he gets elected, Trump's gonna, just run rampant all over Europe, right? I mean, wouldn't it be crazy not to do something about that? Crazy would be not to do something about that. Crazy would be to just stand by and allow it to happen, right?
Right.
Is he crazy for believing these things? No, I'm not going to say he's crazy. I would accuse him of being an idiot, okay, for buying into the left-wing rhetoric.
Right.
Okay, but does that mean he's crazy? No. He's not out of his mind. He did. I could be wrong, guys, but to me, the fact that he did it alone is not evidence of him being psychotic or being crazy. Why they want to do this? Because if you declare him crazy, then they absolve themselves from responsibility, right?
100%.
They're absolving themselves from taking responsibility for the fake news they put out there, the fake information that they put out there, that they're letting people, the fear mongering, right? He's crazy. These psychopaths, right? Some unstable person out there. This absolves them from that. Does that make sense, Alfred?
100%, man. You're onto something, Sherlock. And I think for the most part, we know that this is happening. We know that this is happening because this is what they do.
Right.
We've been hearing this for the last 10 years. Listen, Donald Trump, has been doing this for 10 years. You know what I mean? He's been in the eye of what? Of the media. He's consistently from not only from host after host, right? That he was paid, that he's a Russian spy, that he's blah, 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 that he stole the elections, that he's danger to democracy. It's been 10 years. These guys have been propagating, they've been just prompting this narrative, this rhetoric that is dangerous, right? That now some of you that are in the matrix, right? And don't see it, they're trying to normalize that it's okay to go after a political opponent this way. It's okay to do that.
Right.
They're trying to normalize it. And I think that's the dangerous. That's why we need to speak out and say, no, that's wrong. It is wrong, no matter what side. Can you imagine, man? Can you imagine, Isaac, if they did this to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? If they already had 2 attempts, if that would have been the lefts or the Democrat Party, right now, we would have Congress 5 to 6 different bills on how to remove weapons of mass destruction from everybody.
Oh, no, yeah, it would consume the network. They would probably cancel. It's today? Today's Monday, right?
Today's Monday.
Monday Night Football probably would have been canceled over.
100%.
You know what I mean?
They would have just
been like, oh, we're in danger, guys. We just assassination attempt. Cancel Monday Night Football. I wouldn't even. It'd been crazy, but to our point here on the Daily Mail, right? This is a quote, okay? This go to the point where to me this is not somebody who sounds crazy, okay? This statement to me sounds like somebody who's genuinely has believed what he's being told by the left, right? So I quote here: "I must take part of the blame for the retard child we elected for our next president and ended up being brainless. But I am a man. But I am man enough to say that I misjudged and made a terrible mistake. And I apologize," he said, after berating the former president for abandoning the nuclear deal with Tehran. Right. So I guess this is a quote that's in his book. Mm-hmm. Now, does this sound like somebody who's crazy or absurd? To me, when I listen to this, he's somebody who genuinely has bought into, what is the media to say, right? That Trump abandoned the Iran Tehran deal, the nuclear deal, right? Mm-hmm. It's a disaster. It's a danger to the world. It's it's a threat to our country. So on and so forth. So obviously this man, he because he believes this, to me, he sounds like a nice guy. If it were true, and I know this sounds weird, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, but if let's just say he was on the right side of things,
right,
and what he believes was true, right? The guy's humble enough to say that he misjudged and made a terrible mistake by voting for Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, that's respectable, right. That's a good trait for somebody to have, that they can, if they believe they made a mistake, that they're going to own up to it. Right. Mm-hmm. And this is a man that is trying to do something about it. He's trying to defend democracy in his mind. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. again, does that make him crazy? Because if you're one of those Trump haters that believes the same thing he believes, the very fact that you believe it, if you're gonna say, well, he's crazy because he believes this stuff, well, then you're crazy too because you believe this stuff too, right? If you believe that Trump,
it's gonna fix the swamp, right? Like clean the swamp.
Well, no, I said if you believe that we need to help Ukraine, if you believe that if we do nothing about it, that that Putin's going to take over Europe, that he's end up taking over the world, right? If you believe these things, you believe the same things he believes, right? If you believe that Trump is a buffoon, right?
Yeah.
Then you believe the same thing. Does that make you crazy, unstable? No, I mean, it makes you an idiot, in my opinion, right? but it doesn't mean you're crazy and unstable.
100%.
Right? But yeah, man, let's play this clip here because, again, guys, they're trying to tell you guys that, that they're trying to tell you guys that people can't be held responsible for the actions they take. We can't blame, and to a certain extent, I agree, right?
Right.
Just because somebody tells me on TV that I should go shoot somebody doesn't mean I'm going to do it, right? But again, this is different because you're telling this person that his country's in danger, that democracy is at stake. This is the equivalent of Hitler, right? But listen to this stuff. Listen to what these people are being told, and ask yourself, is it wrong for this guy to have done what he did if this is true?
There we go.
It is just unquestionable at this point that man cannot see public office again. He is not only unfit, he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated. It is just unquestionable.
It's unquestionable. He is destructive to our we're a republic,
right?
But I digress. Let's just democracy. You're telling people that your freedom is at stake. That your country will be destroyed. Hit the next one, Alfred.
Here we go.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
She's clapping and everything, right? Mm-hmm. And you believe these people? Do you believe that these people actually care? If you think that they're just being funny, you're naive. Yep. Okay? But again, now let's look at this clip of this guy.
We should have thousands of...
hold on. Sorry. Listen to him, and does he sound like a crazy... Again, guys, is this somebody who just believes what he's been told, right? He's believed CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, actors, movies, politicians, all the things that they're telling him. Is this somebody who's unstable? Listen to what he's saying. Or is this somebody that if these things are true, okay, if these things are true and real, to me, he sounds absolutely reasonable. And thank you, sir, for standing up and doing something about this. Right? Listen to this.
On thousands of people standing here with the Ukrainians. This Maiden Square, Independence Square, we should have millions of people in this square, filling the square from every country around the world. And why we don't, I don't understand. I'm here every day with all the flags from all the supporting countries, with the memorials for the people that have died. And, I've had several people come, but just a handful, So it blows my mind that I'm standing here alone without thousands of people from every country, from Asia, from Africa, from Australia,
Don't let it play.
Canada,
right?
Everywhere in South America.
It should blow your mind if these things, if the things that you're being told were true.
Europe, everywhere. We need everybody here. We should have thousands upon thousands of people standing here with the Ukrainians. This Maiden Square, Independence.
Right. Again, he's absolutely right. If Ukraine is going to be destroyed by Putin, he's absolutely right. You should have thousands of people there from all over Europe, right? I mean, he's absolutely correct. because they're being told that Putin is going to invade Europe eventually, right? So logically, this is why this man is saying what he's saying. We should have thousands and thousands of people here from all over the world. We should from all over Europe. Yes, of course. If these things were true, that is logical, guys. Is he psychotic? Is he mentally unstable? Or does he believe what he's been told by the left and the media? So again, I asked the question, who's to blame for this? Right? Who do you blame for this, guys? Who do you blame for this? Who's ultimately responsible? When you hear people say that the media is the biggest threat to our country, do you understand what we're saying, those of us that believe that? Right? Mm-hmm. Now, am I saying, oh, yeah, we need to go kill and blow up CNN and MSNBC? No. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do this, the proper way, which is voting, passing laws, getting politicians to enforce laws, so it doesn't come to that kind of stuff.
100%.
But here we go, guys. Check this out, okay? Again, BlackRock commercial. And guess who's on this commercial? Hit play, Alfred. Check this out.
Post of the action is to appeal to world leaders.
There he is.
Organization. Post of the action.
Just in case you missed it, let it play one more time.
Is to appeal to world leaders.
There he is, right there. Isn't that creepy? Why is that? So now you have the first shooter in a BlackRock commercial, and now you have this guy in a What does that mean? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
We're not saying BlackRock is manipulating anybody, but again, we digress.
Why is it that these people, like, you find out, like I saw some other interview where a journalist was like, yeah, I've interviewed that guy before.
Yeah.
I've kept in touch with him since my first. It's super interesting how these people are not people that just came out of nowhere, really. They've been around, But again, guys, what this means, I don't know. That we'll see what we find out as the day goes on. But as of right now, other than this, to me, it does sound like, okay, this could be an actual lone wolf guy, that's just bought into the rhetoric. But I refuse until you show me evidence that he is somebody that's mentally ill or mentally unstable. Right? Being wrong on a subject or on an issue, or being wrong about what the media or the news that you're listening to, does not make you mentally unstable.
True.
That I know of. I don't know.
True.
Right, Alfred?
100%. And I think for the most part, that's what we're learning. I mean, come on. It's just like like Isaac mentioned, this is just too weird. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Let's take a step back, right? A couple of months ago, we saw the same person in a BlackRock commercial, right? In a classroom setting, right? Right? Talking about something, and then it was taken out. Same thing again. We go into this new, assailant, and he is in a BlackRock commercial, right? Like nothing. Yep. Like, what's going on here? Are we? This is for those that are in the Matrix. Maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know. We don't know. We just want you to think.
It's ridiculous too, Alfred, how these guys are like, well, we don't know what the motive. Like the first guy, they want to kill Trump. That's the motive.
They do. Yeah.
What do you think their motive was? I mean, this article here that, it's talking about how he contributed to Democratic campaigns 19 times, right? 19 contributions exclusively to Democrats since 2019, right? To Act Blue, apparently. In the small donations, like $19, $10, $1, the guy. But, the guy, I'm looking at this report where it shows all his campaign contributions, and he's listed as not employed. Right. And this is I'm looking at data. Since 2019, From what I can tell here, the earliest donation was on December 7th, and the most recent being September 15th. Actually, the most recent being March 16th of 2020 on this report, right? Mm-hmm. So the guy's not employed. So I'm like, how do people, like, these guys are never employed?
Yeah.
It's just weird, but
or even living at home, living at their parents' home. I mean, it's strange, man. This is all strange. I mean, granted, there's just, I think at the end of the day, man, I think we end up having more questions than answers. You know what I mean? Like, why? It does not make sense. But right now, like I mentioned, there's just a lot of things that don't make sense right now, man. There's just a lot of things. I mean, for instance, to me, we don't have enough, we don't have a lot of Secret Service to cover the whole, Gulf Coast. I get it. I was telling Isaac, I mean, don't they have a drone to do a little quick check around the perimeter? Don't you have a golf cart, that you can go around the golf cart? I mean, these are questions that I would like to ask, the Secret Service if they're listening to our podcast. Don't you have a little golf cart? I mean, Trump is rolling on golf carts. He does at Mar-a-Lago has golf carts.
Well, like we said in the beginning, though, Alfred, they stopped the guy though.
No, they did.
They stopped the guy. So they did. They patrolled.
Yeah, but I wish it would have been sooner. I mean, he's been there since 1 a.m.
Well, okay. Well, granted, yes. That's honestly good point, Alfred. Good point.
I mean, the guy's been there. Point.
The guy was there for 12 hours. That's a good point. I guess. I mean, we don't know. Maybe did he not have his guns out? Was he not set up yet? Was it not that obvious?
See, those are the questions.
But it's a good point. I mean, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. But for what we know right now, there was a guy sent out patrolling to, ahead for this very reason. So that if there is a threat out there, that he can eliminate the threat. And that's what happened. Now, from there, it's like, okay, well, they should have people outside, I guess. So what do you do? It's a public street. Do you just not let people walk on the street? I mean, I don't think they can do that, or maybe they could. But is it reasonable that while Trump golfs, nobody can walk on the sidewalk anywhere near the golf course?
Well, at least, I don't have a problem with people walking, up to the fence or whatever. But when you have two AK-47s and backpacks and stuff, that's when it gets questionable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they should have some patrol cars maybe driving around.
Come on, do we have metal? I mean, come on now. We do the greatest nation of this whole world. The Secret Service doesn't have a drone that can modify and they can look at, somebody's body heat and to see if he's carrying something. Come on now.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I think that generally here with what we know, look, they did the job.
100%.
The guy didn't get a shut off.
No, 100%.
They eliminated the threat. I mean, I think when they're here right now, like, could have been killed. Yeah, okay, he could have been killed, but he wasn't, and he wasn't near even being killed this time.
I mean, when you have Hannity coming out and says, "Oh man, I just didn't feel like being there," like he's already hinting like, oh man, thankfully I wasn't there. Kind of like, oh yeah,
probably not a good idea to be hanging out with Trump.
I know exactly. Like you got some of the closest friends. Like, oh, come on now, think about it. You got some of his closest friends now are like, dude, do I really want to go out with Trump? I mean, what could happen now? You know what I mean? Like, am I gonna risk it now? I mean, drive by. What's gonna happen? And see, those are the things that we as a nation, or even that. A next president or a candidate, a political candidate shouldn't have to worry for those things, man. Like we're in Mexico or we're in Latin America, third world country. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah. So and again we go back to. Oh wait, what's this?
Found something?
We should, I had said I wouldn't let this story die, but I guess I did. Sean Combs was arrested. This is the New York Times.
Oh, wow.
In Manhattan after grand jury indictment. So the music sorry, we're going up, but I just saw this right now. The music mogul has been under mounting scrutiny since a 2023 lawsuit by the former girlfriend Casey accused him of sex trafficking and years of abuse. Well, unplanned.
Right.
What happened to that story? Right?
Exactly.
Sean Combs, a music mogul whose career has been upended by sexual assault lawsuit and federal investigations, was arrested in Manhattan on Monday evening. So today, after a grand jury indicted him, according to a person familiar with the indictment who was not authorized to speak publicly. So, man, that's breaking news right now.
100%.
Yeah. So,
100%. You know, I mean, New York, I'm shocked. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally shocked, New York. You know what I mean? Like you got somebody that's been story after story, things after story, bishops and all kinds of stuff. Finally, New York, I'm shocked. But I guess
they're not publicizing what the charges are, so I don't know what they're charging them with. But isn't it, guys, interesting how that story, you've been real quiet. Nothing really was coming out of it.
Well, it says there, if you follow, it says the charges of the indictment were not immediately clear. Of course not. They're not going to be.
No, yeah. So we'll I guess we'll find out more, but yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Was it part of the raid? Because I know in March he got raided by federal agents. So was it part of that? Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a lot of details. Just saying, hey.
It just broke right now. But yeah, so I guess, Elon Musk came out and he posted, no one's trying to assassinate Kamala, right? So he's getting
getting some heat for that, right?
He's getting some heat, but to his point, and this reminds me, another point I wanted to make is how the media wants to make this seem like these things are going on both sides, right? Mm-hmm. Like, both sides are out there saying this rhetoric that's dangerous and inciting violence. No, it's totally one-sided. 100% one-sided.
100%. Listen, they want to come back to January 6th, right? And saying, officers got hurt. Nope, no officers got hurt.
No officers got hurt.
Right? They are saying that even somebody died. Of course, Ashley Babbitt is the only one.
Ashley Babbitt was killed by
the only one that was died, right?
The
only one. But they're trying to. Their rhetoric is saying like, oh, we are the ones who are excited. Since then, we discard the flaming cities all over the world, the constant looting. Discard those. Discard all the mass. The immigration causing all kinds of atrocities with children and stuff. Discard those. Right. This is their doing. And again, but like Isaac said, the two sides. No, we're not doing it. We don't have people. People on the right are not out there with AK-47s. You guys, we're not out there with AK-47s. We're peaceful. We believe in law and order, but this is exactly what these people want. They want us to do that. And that's why they continue to incite. That's why they have the propaganda machine with the medias trying to push all this narrative, all this rhetoric that is unfortunately reaching people that aren't stable, man.
Yeah,
and it's hurting us.
And they say, there's crazy people on both sides. There's unstable.
Oh, they're not.
Well, let me just verify this.
Sure.
I mean, you can't say no. I mean, yes, there is, but there is crazy people on both sides. But what side is actually doing things?
What side
is actually taking action? Okay.
Exactly.
Yes. I mean, because obviously, there's crazy right wingers too. They're sitting there, freaking like there's like I hope he doesn't watch it, but there's a guy in my church that I wouldn't say he's I'm not gonna say he's crazy because he's not crazy, but he takes this very serious. Like he is preparing, okay? But then there's that saying something like what is it? It's the paranoid survive.
Yep, true.
The paranoid people. So he's a paranoid guy, right? This guy's actually like he's taking action and preparing in case Kamala wins. He's ready to, live off the grid. He's got he's got his truck getting set up, CB radios, he's getting ham certified. He's doing his due diligence to prepare for the poop to hit the fan, right?
True.
Okay. Now, does that harm anybody? No, he's not out there preparing to go kill anyone. Okay. Mm-hmm. Is he spending a lot of money right now? And a time to prepare for something that, do I think it's going to get that crazy? I don't know. But it could.
But Isaac,
it could. But guess what? If I'm wrong, okay,
it's gonna be.
I'm gonna wish I would have been as paranoid as him.
Or it's gonna be like, where does he live, bro? We want to talk to him, bro.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna be the ones that are gonna look on the side and say, bro, he was right.
Yeah.
Now look at us. Now we're struggling over here. We're part of the what is it called? That one movie, the Purge. Like the movie The Purge, where everybody's all like, it locks down one day. Everybody's allowed to do anything, right? And he's very prepared, and he's already prepared, ready to go.
So look at it like this, Alfred. Okay, yeah. So the right crazy guy, right? I mean, or woman out there, right?
Sure.
The ones that are out there, when you talk to them, their fears are like, the economy is going to crash, right? We're going to have crazy radicals out here running amok. Food prices are going to go up the roof. We're going to have to farm our own food. We're going to have to harvest our own have our own animals. We need to prepare. I need to be self-reliant. So those guys, they're sitting in their little, if you want to just kind of how they talk about sitting in their basement, right? That crazy guy that they describe on TV.
Yeah.
They're like on Amazon or like on websites prepping, right? Buying ammo, buying guns. Now, how does that harm you? How does that actually hurt anybody that they're spending a lot of time and a lot of resources educating themselves, preparing for basically the apocalypse? They're preparing for Kamala and the deep state to crash our economy, and destroy our country. Where now we're like all living in huts, right? They're out there preparing for that. Okay, and again, if they're right and we're wrong, we're going to wish that we would have been doing the same thing, right?
Correct.
Now, the left crazies, guess what they're doing? They're out there freaking trying to kill Trump. That's what they're doing, right? That's why, because they're the ones being told, right, that they're going to get put in camps, that that if you're black, we're going to go back to slavery.
We're not
right.
We're not going back.
So you think about, how do you prepare for that? What do you do about that? You do what these guys are doing.
Yep.
Right? You do exactly what these guys are doing. I mean, how many times have you thought to yourself, or even, when you think back on, we talked about this before, back when Hitler took place, took power, during 1943, I think 43, 44, something like that, I believe, was when Hitler took over Nazi Germany. Right. If you go to the Holocaust museums, you can see they do a really good job of like showing you how he ran, the atmosphere during that time where the Germans were, they were in a depression, their economy wasn't doing well. They had no national pride. And here comes along this great speaker, right, that's talking about, and this was his slogan, hope and change. If you go to the Holocaust Museum and you go through, they have this little area where they you're walking, and it's like a display of Germany, and they have really cool like audio where it's kind of like the buzz of town, right? People are eating, at restaurants, they're having conversations, and you see signs like campaign signs, when Hitler was running, and they say hope and change, right? And you think back, how did these idiots fall for this? How did they allow somebody so crazy and senile to take power? Look what happened to those guys. How stupid are they? Why didn't they stop them? Again, do you blame people? Right? Because now here you are being told like, hey, this guy's like the next Hitler, right?
Right.
Understanding history and what happened. Is it mentally unstable to do something about that threat?
Yeah.
I would say no. It's your duty, Yeah. It's your duty as a patriot to do something about it, if that's what you believe.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So don't take me out of context. I'm not telling people to do anything crazy. I'm saying that is actually a righteous endeavor if it's true, right? So
100%. And that's one of the things that again, that's what I come back to this propaganda machine, right? The news. This is what they do 24/7. I'm so glad, bro. I don't pay attention to those news, bro.
Right.
I'm so glad because I'm like, bro, right now I would have been on my 10th jab, on ivermectin, whatever. I would be all over it, man. But wearing masks still after 5 years, you know what I mean? Like, forget about it. You know what I mean? Like, no way.
Yeah, perfect example, Alfred. So this is a perfect analogy or an example, right?
Yeah.
For us to believe that, for us to label this man as being crazy and unstable, right? Mm-hmm. Does that mean that all of the people that got jabbed because they believed what the media was telling them, right? They believed it. They believed that this thing was going to kill them if they got it, right? Mm-hmm. If you believe that, then of course you're walking around with masks. Of course you're getting jabbed.
Yep.
Right? You were told it was safe. If you believe that, then your decision and your behavior make total sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that make you an idiot? My opinion, yes. Are you stupid for not freaking questioning and just believing everything you hear? I'm going to say yes. You're an idiot. You were walking around wearing masks, did nothing for you. You still got it. You still got COVID. Okay.
And you still get the boosters every year.
Right. And you're still getting the boosters because you still believe what you believe. This guy's no different. He's no different. He's believing the same media that told you that COVID was going to kill you, that wearing a mask works, that getting vaccinated is going to prevent you from getting COVID. Oh, but then no, it doesn't prevent you now, but it at least you won't die from it. You're still going to get it, but all of that, right? He's just like you, okay? Does that make you unstable? Does that make you incoherent? Does it make you a lunatic? No. Are you stupid? Yes. Are you misguided? Yes. Should you start questioning things and yes.
100%.
And yeah, start questioning
even though
things.
the media tells you don't research, just trust us. You guys remember? You guys remember? Not to a couple of years ago. Remember they were saying it out in the media, in the news, in front of it. I mean, come on. You had what's his name? Don Lemon, or who was it? Chris Cuomo.
Right.
Telling you like, hey, don't question it. Let us be.
Right.
Let us be the ones to tell you what's true and what's not.
Right. He's a victim. He's a victim of the media. This man, okay, just like you were a victim of the media. If you're 100%. One of those people that got jabbed and got the vaccine, if you're one of those people that during COVID was locked in your room and you were afraid to go outside when it didn't matter, okay? If you're one of those people, you're no different than this man. You're just as much of a victim as he is.
100%.
Okay, the man is reacting accordingly, just like you did.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just like you did during that time. It's the same thing. It's what. Am I wrong? Right, Alfred?
No, it's 100%.
It's the same freaking thing.
That is yes. What we want to portray over this whole thing. Yes, was it an attempt at assassination? Yes. Now the guy was wrong. Of course, he was an idiot. But at the same time, he believes everything. Everything that has been told to him.
Right.
Just like many of us. Right. You can't blame him. Right.
So if anything, learn from this.
Yeah.
Learn from this and don't end up like this man because he doesn't question, because he's wrong on the issue. Yep. Okay. And unfortunately, here you have it. The man ruined his life.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. And we'll see, because who knows, guys? I mean, as of right now, they're only charging him with illegal possession of.
He's gonna get 2 counts. 2 counts for weapon. He's gonna have 2 counts. So he's gonna set 2 charges with 2 gun felonies.
Yeah, just some gun charges, which I mean, my understanding it is time. I think one has like 5, so like at least 5 or 10 years of prison.
Yeah, and
I'm sure, I would hope. Let's see. I mean, there's got to be some, attempt, to, I don't know what would be the crime there. Attempted murder, or I don't know if you can make it. He didn't actually fire anything, but he didn't shoot his gun.
But
so that's probably a tough case. But there's got to be some sort of law that he violated because it's clear that he was there to kill the president.
Of course,
Okay.
he was there. Depending, did he have bullets inside the weapon ready to be fired? Those are the things they got to look on.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a tough situation with that man. But again, perfect example, man.
Yeah,
He believes.
so
He believes.
we got this. What is this? The campaign.
This is just the campaign. This was just for the outro.
Yeah, so we'll play this ad here. Alfred wanted to play this ad here from. Looks like a pretty good ad from Trump, the Trump campaign. Again, let's not forget. I mean, we are still in an election. Let's. Is Trump? What's he gonna do now? Is he gonna take this serious? I mean, I don't even want to say he's not taking the fact that they're trying to kill him serious.
I don't know.
There's no way that he's not, right?
I think right now, bro, Trump is smart, and I get it. I understand. Like, look, I am not part of the campaign, so I don't know exactly if this is actually beneficial. But listen, the man knows how to take advantage of every situation.
But
I don't know if you noticed.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah, no. Of course.
He can't keep tempting fate, man.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. I think for the most part right now, look.
They're going to get more desperate, okay? They're going to get more desperate. They're still poisoning. They can try. I mean, we've already heard some reports of mechanical issues with the airplane. Do we really know the whole truth with that? Do you think that we really would have known whether something really happened? Was it an attempt? Can they plant some roadside bomb? Even though I know his car, it's bomb-proof, but
I don't know about you. Have you seen the car he drives, man? That thing is like, bulletproof.
I mean, they still get really bad concussions. They still get pretty messed up.
That's true.
Okay. So I mean, we don't know, and they're gonna get desperate. They're running out of time. We're down to maybe 50 days, 55 days,
50,
whatever.
Yep,
50 days.
Yep, 50 days.
Okay, so they're gonna get more desperate. So if you thought we were crazy for it wasn't just us. I mean, everybody was already saying they're not gonna stop. They're gonna try again. So there's absolutely no reason for them to give up on it now. But let's go ahead and play this campaign video. I think it's pretty good.
I actually found a video for the Secret Service FBI hold a press conference. You want to check that one out or no? It's 30 minutes, but we're not going to go through the whole thing.
Nah, let's not. Let's skip it. Yeah, because we don't know what's in it.
All right.
Might be too long.
Okay, let's play this video here. It's just the Trump campaign.
She doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan.
Her policies on her website are copied and pasted right from Joe Biden's website. They're not even hers.
Bidenomics is working.
Bidenomics is working.
We have the strongest economy in the world.
Our economy is the strongest in the world.
My Build Back Better framework.
Our Build Back Better framework.
To a steady and stable growth.
Stable and steady growth.
We've come so far since my inauguration.
Our country has come a long way since President Biden and I took office.
Nothing says her vision like copy and paste from the boss, does it? Right? I mean, come on.
Well, you know where I disagree with this is, she did not copy and paste this from the boss. That would assume that Joe Biden came up with those things.
Of course. Yeah.
So he didn't come up with these lines and those speeches and those phrases. Those are fed to him.
True.
And it's the same person that's feeding it to him. Because, I mean, that's ridiculous. That's implying that Biden was coherent enough to come up with those speeches and write his own speeches and his own statements, right? No. She's being fed the same talking points by the same person or people than Biden was. She's just another puppet.
Yep, 100%. So here you are, you guys. You guys were able to see for the last 4 years, we were able to see exactly what she's talking about. She says we are not going back, right? We're moving forward. But in a sense, we haven't moved. You know what I mean? We're still stuck in the high inflation. We still have open borders. We still have, some of our veterans that are out there living homelessness still. We still have issues happening, with our economy, and not only the wars, 2 wars that are happening right now. And so we're not moving anywhere. So we do need change. You know what I mean? Can Trump bring it? we've seen what he's done.
Yep.
And now we've seen over the last 3 years the opportunities that they could have done, and look at where we're at.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. So, yeah, guys, one of the things I had said that Trump would not do, which he did, so I was wrong, and I'm glad he did, where he came out and said that if he were to become if he were to win, that they would investigate everybody involved in the lawfare, right? To lawyers, to judges, to politicians, anyone involved will be held accountable if found guilty. So, do you blame them for trying to kill him? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think these people are just going to go away quietly and just, wait for him to be elected, and just hope that he does nothing? So I'm glad to be wrong on that. I mean, yes, those are just words he's using now. We'll see, because he did say lock her up a bunch of times, and that never happened, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And there was something else I was gonna bring up, and I just lost my train of thought. But I lost my train of thought.
Hey, a quick shout out to everyone over there. Hey, Democrats operatives are deceiving Trumpers into a third-party run. Don't pay attention, you guys. Don't pay attention to that, all right? So the operatives, right? You guys know who the Democrat operatives are? They're deceiving Trumpsters into a third-party run. So there's no third party. You guys, that's it.
Yeah, don't do it. So, all right, man. Well, that's all I got, Alfred.
That's all I got. I think we nailed it down, bro. We had a discussion. Now, bro, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's paying attention. We listen, by the way, there's people out there that are listening to this podcast, bro. I'm actually surprised. There's 61 people that are helping us out. Can you guys turn on your notification? So this is what you do. When you turn on your notification, it actually gives you an alert, a notification that our videos has been launched. And now, how are you going to help us? We're going to make this channel grow. It's going to require all of us to work together. If you're part of this, you have applied, you have gone into our YouTube channel and kind of subscribed. Now it's your turn to help us. Turn on your notifications, because when you do turn on your notifications, you have an opportunity to share to other people. And when you're sharing, that's the way we grow this channel. So we're gonna take it to the grassroots, right? Right now we're just focusing on Isaac's family, but
yeah, my sister and shout out to DP. You know who you are, long friend of mine. He's black. And he's a black conservative brother, and I haven't talked to him for a long time, but it's funny because he actually watches he texted me the other day, because we were trying to find the video of the woman in Chicago.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find it. Well, he found one, but which was on a podcast. I was actually trying to find like an original version.
The original, right?
But he ended up texting it to me, and so thanks DP for the video.
Shout out DP.
Yeah.
Hey, so man, so help us out, you guys. The reason why, man, we're grassroots. This is what we do. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, hey, man, well, how you can get out there? This is us. It's just our family. Right now, everybody in my family is listening to it. Isaac's family is on board now. And so we got all these family listening, but now we got to help us out by sharing it. Turn on your notifications so you can get notified. And that's it, man. But thank you so much for being part of this. We're happy to be here. We have fun. Actually, we do have fun when we have this podcast, because there's just so much. And I know when we say old news, it's just that we get to do this every Monday, and it's unfortunate, right? Because by Monday we have what?
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky that the attempt was this weekend, so this
Sunday,
is kind of still this Sunday, was so just yesterday.
Cycles,
so we're actually kind of current, but a lot of times during the week, especially like after the campaign, I mean, the things that I was thinking about, I already kind of forgot, but.
That's what happens.
And that's already old news,
It's a lot, bro. The news cycles, that's the way they have us. They have it like hamsters, you know what I mean? We're always going around the wheel, and we're always going around the wheel until we fall off, and then we have to get back in the little wheel. That's the way they have us right now. So that's why
so let's see. Maybe they'll try again next weekend, Alfred, and we're talking about attempt 3.
The number 3, man. I can't wait to find my shirt, man. Hey, thank you guys for joining us, man. We'll see you here on our next podcast at the Understrain podcast, man. Thank you. It's been Isaac Galvez and Alfred. Here just spending some time with y'all. Take care. Have a good weekend or good week. And stay posted. All right.
All right,
Take
guys.
care.
me and move.